Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from whatever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, it has reached a time whereby now UDA party is resorting to using orthodox means to sort out their mess. When they are caught up, they go to an extent of even using intimidation in order to silence anyone who is exposing him. Now, the Nation Media Group is exposing what really has been happening behind the scene between what the UDA bloggers have been sponsoring on social media and how individuals masquerading as Keps visited their farm with an intention to investigate something there. So first of all, this is what happened. The Nation Media Group launched an online investigation on broken government services, the functionalities of the services in government. The other time I was complaining here about lack of papers. If you go to apply an ID, you can try it from where you are. Here in Vihiga, it is not functioning. You will be told, come tomorrow, next week, we don't have papers like that. And someone want to apply for an ID. Talk about passport. Now you talk about health services in our hospitals, that is public hospitals, is a total mess. The truth is that UDA is not functioning. UDA administration is not working. Many services have been stopped. It's like the government is stagnant. Now with this move, the government was not happy because now they're going to be exposed. So what did they do? On Tuesday, a fake letter was posted on X, formerly Twitter, and they were alleging that the ink used to publish the Nation newspaper could be have adverse effect to their readers. How? At equal adverse effect to those who are reading the newspaper. So the propaganda went viral. It spread, but Keps was silent. After the message was all over, that's when they came out to disown that. So look at the time they bought to send the message before Keps now come in to disown. That means there is possibility of this regime using state agency to fire their opponent. How comes it took so much long for Keps to come and disown that letter? Besides that, now individuals masquerading as Keps officials decided to go and visit the NRM media farm to check or to inspect the ink they are using to print their papers. All is drama because the media had decided to do an investigation and expose the government. So even we don't know if really they were really Keps officials being used by the government, or they were just UDA bloggers or some individuals to try and intimidate the media so that they can stop the move to expose the government. So National Media Group decided to compile those the issue that they've been going through, and this is what they shared.
For the last few days, the country has witnessed a well-coordinated, vicious, malicious, and unsubstantiated online campaign against the Nation Media Group. If the faceless purveyors of the sponsored mad smear would have their way, NMG would be dead and, quote, resting in peace. Hashtag RIP Nation Media is the hashtag that the shadowy propagandists used in the latest online crusade against the nation on X, formerly known as Twitter. The cyber warriors on Friday crafted a fake letter alleging that up to 600 NMG employees would be declared redundant by April this year. They then enlisted their surrogates to spread a full-blown hate campaign featuring video clips of senior officials in the current government who have made public pronouncements undermining press freedom. It is easy to see through this cowardly scheme. Now, the current wave of online disinformation started on Tuesday, January the 30th, 2024. It is difficult to see it as a coincidence that this is the same day the Nation Media Group launched the investigative series Broken System or Broken Government Services, an editorial project intended to shine a spotlight on the functionality of basic government services through experiential tracking of ordinary Kenyans who interact with state agencies on a daily basis. The first edition of the Broken System series featured inefficiencies at the biggest public health referral facility in this country, the Kenyatta National Hospital. It captured the neglect and sadly needless deaths that occur on a daily basis along KNH corridors, significantly impacting the poor who cannot afford expensive private hospitals. Our journalists also visited the Passport Issuance Agency at the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, highlighting the long suffering of Kenyans seeking the all-important travel document. At Bima House, our journalists witnessed the suffering of pensioners pursuing the processing of their retirement dues from lethargic bureaucrats who frustrate them habitually with the aim of extorting bribes from their payoff. The second edition of the investigative project, published on Tuesday, the 6th of February, highlighted the plight of more than 600,000 Kenyans who have been waiting for issuance of national identity cards since mid-November without any clarity as to when they are likely to receive the critical document. As a responsible media house, NMG sought responses from government officials in charge of the government agencies that were the subject of focus in the editorial articles, and their rejoinders were duly included in the published stories. In addition, NMG journalists went to great lengths to contextualize challenges beyond the control of government officials that may have affected the delivery of services. The story on delayed issuance of identity cards, for example, indicated that a court order stopping the printing of third-generation ID cards was to blame for the unfolding crisis. On Tuesday this week, a fake letter was posted on X, claiming that the ink used to publish nation newspapers could have adverse health effects on our readers. The Kenya Bureau of Standards, that's KEBS, disowned the statement on its official X account, but not before it had been shared many times by social media users. Curiously, some individuals claiming to be KEBS officials visited the Nation printing press along Mombasa Road, ostensibly, and quote, to inspect the quality of our ink. This sustained...
Now we are continuing this final discussion, but just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, the question is, what is the motive behind the sponsor or spreading of this malicious campaign against the media house? If you have any problem with what they are doing, if they don't come out with the facts, I think the government has a platform to bring out facts. They can even sue the media in the court of law in case they shared wrong information. But now, what we can conclude in this finding is that the government is feeling the heat because they have already failed the people. There is problem in service delivery. And now, because they cannot face any media house with facts, the only thing they can do is exactly what they are attempting to do on the Nation Media Group. You know, sponsor fake information, malicious, to injure the reputation of a media house because you are being investigated, because someone wants to expose you. Besides that, you go to an extent of using some individuals masquerading as KEBS to investigate ink. That is all intimidation. The fact is that they have been caught up in a mess. They are messing this country. There is no service delivery. The government is not functioning. You cannot be served in most of these offices. Wanakuambia kila saa hakuna makaratasi. Hiyo ni ukweli. We have experienced this even in our village here. Getting passport is a problem. Kithure Kindiki, assured us that he's going to provide a solution. No solution to that. You walk into any government offices. In fact, the biggest seller of paper, it is the government. The question is, why is it that there is not papers, but they are collecting revenue more than any other government has done? So you are overtaxing Kenyans, but we can't see value for our money because services are not being offered at all. Hakuna services, lakini wanakusanya ushuru. So because they were caught up, they only employ intimidation method to silence a media house. Keps come into, that means they were in some kind of stage managed thing that you wait, we pass this, then you will come out to disown when the message has already spread. Because the key issue here is to spread the message, whether propaganda or truth, it has effect. So after the propaganda was spread, now Keps come out to disown the letter. But above all, some individuals from UDA party walk into Nation Print Press. They demand to inspect their ink. Ati ule wina ambao wanatumia unaweza it can affect the readers of Nation newspaper. Really? How possible is this? It's all to silence a media house. There is freedom for press. They want to gag this freedom, but using orthodox means. So it is clear that this administration, it is not serving the interests of the people. We are on our own. And because someone is trying to tell the story on how they are failing, they now come with intimidation. Otherwise, if everything was okay, you can't intimidate anyone for sharing information. You come out with the fact. Because they don't have fact, the only thing to do is to intimidate. So even UDA bloggers have failed to counter their opponent in the narrative. You know, to counter even the media houses. Because they have failed, they are resorting to intimidation, and that's what they can only do as a government. But they are here to be exposed again.